Good evening, everybody. How's it going?
Good evening.
Good evening.
We were just talking about the stuff that I was shooting for my room tour video, and it's like, why were we not talking about this like after we go live?
Yeah, I don't know why we decided to talk so much about it before.
We talk shop while you guys wait on us, and we probably should talk shop with you.
Yes. let me adjust my camera's very bright right now. Looks very bright and very clear. I feel like.
Just like we ramble on streams, we ramble and then forget, like, hey, it's 8:13. We should go live.
Yeah, it's we should be. Yeah, I mean, usually it's like less than 10 minutes, but not this time.
We try.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've been working on that, and it seems
I have been. It's pretty intense the way I've been doing it, though. Just because so unlike usual videos where I have like the Zoom audio recorder just off camera, I'm wearing a lavalier mic, so that because the lavalier records directly to itself.
Right.
It's a battery pack. And I did that so that I could more freely like move the camera around and be in different positions and locations and stuff. And so it takes a lot of time because I'm like moving the camera constantly.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason I did not end up doing anything like that, because I just wanted to. I didn't know how things were going to change, and I didn't want to get into a situation where I had to reshoot something. And I mean, I had to do that anyways, because it took me so long to make. But I didn't want to have everything just on camera, because I couldn't add in additional information if I wanted to, and I don't know.
Right. I mean, I'm trying to do this all in a way where I don't shoot the room until I know it's ready. And, so I'm shooting it in a way where nothing is going to change while working on that part of the video.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty intense how I did it. I mean, I spent 4 hours, I spent hours getting ready to shoot yesterday, and then 4 hours shooting, and then another 3+ today to just finish the retro room.
Yeah.
The room itself, the actual part of the video won't be that long, but it was just I was shooting that long because of moving the camera, preparing the shot, and however many times it took me to get the words right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but the idea is doing it that way will make it so that editing will be easier, and it can just be more visually varied and interesting, hopefully. So.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely have a different feel than mine. It seems like.
Yeah. I mean, our setups are different in a lot of ways. Our setups have, we were just saying yours is very integrated and hyper connected, and mine are kind of separated in their own bubbles.
Yeah.
So we have different approaches.
They're separate bubble mans.
Ideas from. I mean, I even say in my script, I said, maybe you can get some ideas for your own setup, or treat it as a series of cautionary tales.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we have so many.
It's true for both of our videos.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, we have so many misguided ideas or examples where we just pushed things so far that it we were trying so hard to make something seem convenient that we inadvertently made it inconvenient.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happens to you. That happens to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of times where, and even since I've done that video, I'm like, oh, well, I don't really need to do this, or I can move this over here to kind of streamline certain things. I mean, that's why I put in that whole bit about how the footage will change, and the position of things will change constantly, in the B-roll that I've changed, have shot, because you know, I'm always moving stuff around, or I thought, you know, oh, this will would work a little bit better like this, or it's overcomplicated, and let's just get rid of this
Jeremy
stuff.
Farman says, I may have gone too far in a few places. See, people are already quoting your tour video. It's a bona fide classic already.
I may have gone too far, yeah, and that's you know, it's expected. So we can go ahead and chat, but I'm gonna go ahead and start this game.
Let's go for it.
I'm gonna try out the tutorial here.
It somehow, like, it surprises me we haven't streamed this yet. I'm like, wow, wait, did neither of us stream that?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if you had it or not.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I have. I have the Japanese version.
Yeah, that's the one I have too, because it has English on it.
I've heard this is really good though.
Yeah.
Something that I got my physical of a week or two ago was Bat Boy.
Is what?
Bat Boy. It's another like NES-ish graphics.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Platformer. I played like the opening level. It has like kind of a world map.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I'll probably stream sometime. Before the stream started, we got the inaugural Tiltoes super chat is back on track, saying Gravity Circuit is awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
Well, that's the thing. I was not thinking about playing it until it got mentioned in the Discord, and I was like, oh, that might be kind of fun.
Yeah. You know what I'm noticing here? That's interesting. It looks like, unless you've inadvertently cropped it or something, it looks like
that's an option. I can show you. It's
okay, yeah, because I mean,
you can have it so it fills the screen, or you can have it so that it's like correct. It's not stretched, or you can have it like it's slightly smaller. When I get done with this portion, I will. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like it has like some definite Bionic Commandos, like Mega Man and Bionic Commando in one.
That's an incredible one.
Yeah, Mega Man X and Bionic Commando so far.
But then there was just a moment ago, $2 super chat from Dad1153. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying GunCon 3 worth the high price. Have move gun only. When you say move gun, do you just mean the move or the shooting attachment?
Yeah, or the sharpshooter.
Or the sharpshooter.
The sharpshooter is way more worth it and better than the shooting attachment. If that video did not make it that abundantly clear how much I just preferred to use it.
Yeah. But what do you think? Is the GunCon 3 worth?
I don't even know what it sells for. Is it really expensive? Because you got to get the LED satellites and stuff too. But I have these two LED satellites that are actually better. I think that Laser Bear sells them because that's where I got them.
Oh,
they have, and they're like USB-C powered, which is way more convenient. And you can like hook them together with your own cables.
I mean, I see a $20 GunCon 3 with no sensors.
Right.
I see $85 includes Time Crisis 4, GunCon 3, and
how much? 80?
85.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you know, the game is included, whatever that's worth. Can you play Time Crisis 4 without the GunCon 3? I mean, that version of it.
I bet you can. Just like with a little crosshair on the screen. Probably. I don't know why anybody.
Oh, the Japanese GunCon 3 is black.
Yeah, as they usually are.
Yes.
I have a Japanese stunner.
Which one is that?
That's the Saturn one. Okay, so check out. It has this is best fit right now. This mode right here is best fit. Then there's the force ratio and stretch to fit. So stretch to fit, best fit, and force ratio.
So when it.
So I think that.
So does it shimmer or not?
I will. I guess we'll see, huh? I guess we'll see.
Roost of Blood says, I'm in love with the Romancing Saga 2 remake. It's by the Trials of Mana remake team. I wasn't sure if it was, but it definitely looks of that ilk. I wasn't sure if the Trials of Mana team did that or if they did Visions of Mana.
Right. Because I think Vision of Mana, it definitely has like people that worked on this series originally worked on that. So I don't know how many of those people worked on the remake. All right. It kind of looks like a Gundam. His head does.
It looks like he could be in Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the same dev as Panzer Paladin.
Although it does, like the file select screen does with 10 different files that you can save to, makes it feel like
similar.
Well, it feels like an indie create type thing, but it's not.
Oh, yeah. This I mean, Panzer Paladin is like Shredder's Revenge. They've been so busy with that game for a while.
Right.
I feel like this might be a Japanese game. I'm not sure. Let's see. Who is the developer? Domesticated Ant Games.
Domesticated Ant?
Domesticated Ant.
The music's pretty good.
Let's see. I'm not finding a lot. Domesticated Ant Games. Yeah, on Twitter it says their location is in an ant colony somewhere.
So I guess that would make sense, right?
I guess, you know?
I mean, that's what they're selling with that name.
Yeah. As for where that ant colony, what country that ant colony is, I don't know. I'd be curious to know.
I don't know what it means when they turn gray like that. Can you do something special? Oh, you can throw them then. When they turn gray.
There was a 499 from Jonathan Henson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Always. Saying, have you guys seen footage or screenshots from the upcoming NES RPG Former Dawn? Looks insane for running on real hardware. Yeah, I was looking at some screenshots for that yesterday.
Oh yeah? I'm not familiar with that.
Like the battle scenes kind of like almost have like a Mario RPG like camera perspective. And the sprites just, I mean, it's almost just like just really good looking like sprite and background design, almost more so than just like than anything. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of good technical aspects to it as well. I didn't look at it in motion. I just looked at some screenshots, but it did look really pretty. I am curious. I wonder if there will be a version for modern platforms as well. I don't know. Ooh, I see young Scott from the back loggery looking forward to playing this on his Steam Deck.
Oh.
Atari Fuzz is saying, is this the NES game that mimics Mode 7?
This?
That would be kind of that would be interesting to see, like Mode 7 stylings and NES color palette.
Oh yeah.
I would be in that. Oh man, you know what? I bought last night that I probably shouldn't have.
What?
Do you know what it is?
No.
You aren't gonna guess?
What you bought last night that you shouldn't.
That I should not have.
I mean, I don't know. Is it a video game, or is it something else, or is it?
It's DLC for a video.
Oh, okay. You probably bought the Castlevania.
And the Contra.
Yeah. I mean, I bought them too. Like not last night, but when I bought Contra when it came out.
Yeah. And I did not play Castlevania yet. I mean, I understand it's one big level.
Yeah.
I mean, Contra might be too. I'm not sure. I only played a Contra level. Like I didn't. And of course, I didn't have any of the Contra characters available.
Right.
I mean, it's, for such a. I mean, I did like get to 30 minutes. I put it on like hyper hurry mode, whatever. Make time go twice as fast, but I did make it to 30 minutes on my first attempt. Like, it's weird how like such a basic zero thought game, like you can feel out of practice.
Yeah, well, you forget, and not only that, but probably since you played it last, they've added a ton of stuff to it.
Oh yeah, there's like
a whole like all those like different like I don't know, like adventure mode or something like that.
There's like 101 more like achievement type things than there were before.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, yeah. And like I chose the character who starts off with the pentagram.
Oh.
And next to her, they had in parentheses legacy. And there was like a few other characters that said legacy, and I'm not sure what that meant. If like some of their abilities are like changed, like does maybe the pentagram not work the same way as it used to with other characters?
Right. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Because like every time I've gone back to it, there's like something new, and I'm like, I don't even know where to start anymore. You just gotta start doing stuff and see what you find out. But yes, I mean, I just felt very similar to that, like going back to it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, what button do I press to like check the little guide that tells you like what the combinations are for weapon evolutions, things like that. But yeah, I mean, even though I felt like I felt very rusty, like I still made it to 30 minutes.
Well, depending on how things go with this, maybe I'll check it out also.
Yeah.
At the end of the stream, or not. If not, I'll play a round or two of Balatro.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've been talking about it enough. You have to show us what it's all about. No, Sandy did not eat any beaver nuggets. I did open the other bag the other day, though. You know, I sent Coury a photo the other day. You know, Factor sent a bunch with like the box that they sent for the sponsorship. They sent like a whole bunch of those drinks, and so I've still got some of those. And like sent Coury a picture. I'm like, am I the only person in the world who has ever drank a Factor smoothie and eaten beaver nuggets at the same time? Like, I feel fairly confident in saying I am. Like if I had to stake my life, my gut would be to say I am the only person that's ever.
Oh. I don't know if you get unlimited lives.
Nice Gaming Guy is asking, what are your thoughts on the advancements in open FPGA end of the analog pocket? I mean, are you saying
the analog pocket, or thoughts on advancing open? I've updated mine.
I mean, it sounds like open FPGA is stuck on the analog pocket.
Yeah, I haven't checked like the newest stuff that's been added because archive.org was hacked, and that's where the update grabs all of its stuff from. So I haven't like seen what.
Last time I wanted to update the pocket, I couldn't remember how to use that. So I gave up.
Well, you couldn't remember how to use Pupdate?
Yeah, because I'd only used it like once, and it was a long time ago.
You just double click on the Pupdate thing, and it like will ask you like, do you want to update all, or do you want to?
It may have been on my old computer though.
Oh, I mean it's like super hands free. Like you just run it, and it will ask you if there's an updated version. It will download that and ask you if you want to reboot it before you update it, so that you are running the newest version.
Yeah,
it's real easy.
It's a shame that the open FPGA stuff is ending, but I mean, first of all, I assume it's not like ending on the analog pocket.
No, I mean
I haven't heard anything about, but
I mean they might not be adding anything for it, but
I mean, in some ways, like I don't want to say it's for the best, but at the same time, like it might. Doing something like, you know, getting FPGA on the handheld, FPGA cores on a handheld device, and getting them on Mister, you know, are both very valuable. But like, is it worth the effort of having it on Mister and other consoles? You know, other TV connection consoles. I mean, a lot of people do just stick with the analog devices and don't get Mister. So, you know, in that sense, they miss out. That's a shame. So yeah,
ooh, I like that explosion. That's a.
I mean, obviously, it's up to the developers whether it's worth their time or not. And you know, unfortunately, I guess they just won't have the option to decide if it's worth their time with, like, say, the analog 3D, because I guess it's just not going to be on.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do a video on the analog 3D.
It's a shame the more I think about it.
I have zero excitement about the analog 3D, personally.
Well, you're not an N64 guy,
right?
I mean, the thing that I am most curious about is to try out their overclocking features. You know, because otherwise, I generally expect that I'll be able to do the same things that it does with my HDMI modded system.
Yes.
But I am very curious about that, you know. But, you know, regardless of whether I need it for myself, you know, I am interested in reviewing it as a N64 for that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just not that excited about it. Someone asked me about it yesterday. I went to the Torg convention up in Columbus,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where I was saying
that
that Killzone 2 Favoritos.
Oh,
edition.
Did you get it?
No, it's not worth that money.
It's not worth 25. If it was like, I mean, it wasn't worth 25.
I mean, maybe Killzone 2 is actually that expensive now.
Surely not.
The weirdest thing that I got that I didn't even realize is, I mean, I bought some stuff, but like the weirdest thing I didn't even know it existed is, you know how Hot Shots Golf World Invitational, like the Vita version, got a PS3 port? That got like
no.
It was digital only, but there's a in Japan they released, I guess, a physical of it.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think there's a version that actually is that has English, but the Japanese version does not have English on it. So it's kind of a bummer.
You think there's a physical version that does have English?
Well, I did a search, and it looks like there might be a Chinese version that has it.
Interesting. Wow, no, I had no idea about
it. It has like some of the DLC like on there. I put this in, and there's 21 patches for it.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, you can get the digital version like on PSN, and it has like the extra characters and stuff. If you want to play that version on a TV, that's not on the PS TV, not that it really matters all that much, but it was $3, so I was like, I'll get this and see how it is, or if it has English on it, that makes it even better. But it didn't.
That is very interesting. I see Akafalos was asking anyone having recommendations on connecting consoles to one monitor. I have PS5, PS3, Switch, and analog pocket dock. I mean, that sounds like a. I mean, you almost don't have to buy anything special at all for that. I mean, if your monitor is capable of 4K 120 hertz, you might need to buy a pretty top of the line switcher to get HDMI 2.1. But if your monitor has multiple inputs, then I would connect the PS5 directly to it and then just get a cheap HDMI switcher for the other systems. The only problem with that is that in my experience, the analog pocket dock kind of can just turn on when it wants to.
Yeah, well, if you take the pocket out of it and you plug it back in, it turns on every time.
Yeah, but it also sometimes it just turns on. Like I stopped using it as an HDMI device and only use it as a charging dock now, to be honest.
Oh, interesting.
Like I just have no desire to use it as a TV out device.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, I don't either, but I keep it hooked up in case I need to use it.
No, I decided that it was just too annoying because it was just turning on when it wanted to. When I wasn't even it would turn on like once a week.
Would it like take over your HDMI or something like that then?
Well, it was just for the switcher that was plugged into the other analog consoles were plugged into. But when the Duo came out, I would have needed to either get a bigger switcher or something. And instead, I just decided to plug in the Duo instead of the dock. But anyway, yeah, I mean, those systems you were asking about are not a problem, other than the PS5. I got kind of a nicer HDMI 2.1 switcher the other week. From like Marker Tech, who is like a professional broadcast
right
online retailer. The brand is Mux Lab, which I don't know. See,
does it sound any more reliable than?
Well, Mux isn't like, video muxing.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, like that was a, that Marketech sells their stuff, and it seemed sort of more professional. It definitely like feels heavier than any other switcher I've had.
Yeah.
But I wanted a HDMI switcher, a 2.1 switcher with more ports than what I had.
Yeah, how many does this have though?
Just 4. But like I wanted to be prepared for Switch 2, which might be 4. Or might be 2.1. I don't know. And also, like I was curious if it would help with some of the handshaking issues I was having. And the tentative answer on that is maybe. I haven't had some things are still taking a long time to handshake, and other things have gone faster. So, but it seems good. I see that there was a $10 super chat from T-Soul saying, good evening. Somehow my super chat last week was missed. I apologize for that. Let me see. I do see your super chat from last week. I apologize if it was.
Yeah, it's certainly never intentional.
Certainly never intentional. I apologize. Let me read last week's.
Yeah.
Saying happy Halloween. My Halloween games last 2 weeks have been Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Crow Country, and Carrion. I highly recommend Crow Country, short and sweet, retro survival horror, and Carrion. I do have Carrion, but I've not played it yet. The rest of T-Soul's super chat this week says, asking if either of us had tried the survival horror indie Crow Country on Switch. I tried
There's a demo?
Yeah. There was a demo for it months ago.
Yeah.
I played it on PS5, and I thought it was really neat. It somehow captures the feeling of like Final Fantasy VII backgrounds, but they're rendered in real time. But like somehow,
cool.
like when you can like rotate the camera.
Oh, that's cool.
But when you stop moving the camera, like it almost looks like a pre-render. They like capture that vibe.
Yeah. But it's
surprisingly well.
But it's completely 3D while looking like
it's completely 3D, but it looks like what if Parasite Eve was made more with like Final Fantasy VII style character and background proportions.
Right.
And it's kind of awesome looking. It looks really cool. I saw, I believe, what was it?
I think there's they said
Fangamer?
That there's a, who is it?
I think it's Fangamer.
Do they have a physical up already for it?
They announced it.
Yeah.
And they had like, you could like sign up to be notified when
cool.
it. Yeah. Like they got like a Crow Country, like merch series that I think is available now. And then they're going to have a physical PS5 and Switch versions. It says coming 2025.
Okay.
I don't know if that means it'll ship in 2025, but pre-orders could come sooner, or if pre-orders won't come until then. But yeah, I was really impressed with the demo. The only thing I didn't like, and maybe T-Soul can shed some light here, but I just thought the control scheme was really awkward. Like, not so much like the way, I don't think it was the way it controlled. I just feel like the buttons were in really awkward spots.
Huh.
And at the time, it offered no option to remap. So my hope is that maybe that changed between demo and release, or did a patch at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from awkward button mapping, I was very impressed. So that is absolutely a physical item I'm intending to get.
Well, we got
T-Soul says, the aiming sucks for sure, but there isn't a whole lot of fighting, so it's easy to get used to. Yeah, I can't remember what was wrong with it. I think it was just like you had to like hold a button in an awkward way or something. I can't quite remember what it was. There was a $5 super chat from Dominic Rinaldi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, Corey, I've been to Torg for the last 3 years. I've never been lucky enough to see you. Hopefully I can next year.
Yeah, I mean, I just wander around. It's fun just being able to go and not be like a guest, I guess. Go as a civilian.
Oh, you were a guest?
No, I was not a guest. I've never been a guest to that one.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fun to be able to do that, I think, because there's a lot of people. I mean, it reminds me of going to the Midwest Gaming Classic and the way that you just kind of wandering around and people might be like surprised, like, oh.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are like, and they're always like, I know you. You know, where do I know you from?
Good night, Scott.
But yeah, I mean, I got Suikoden 4 and 5 yesterday.
Oh, is 5's a little pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's $100.
It's good though.
Yeah, but now I'm like, well, I don't actually have 2. And I'm like, now do I got to get 2, or should I just wait for the remaster?
I would say it's fair to wait for the. I mean, we can't say for sure till it comes out, but I mean, it looks good. It does look good. But yeah, I would at this point. I would say that's the way to go.
Yeah.
5 starts off pretty slow, but it gets really good. Like, it definitely kind of like lulls you into a sense of security until before things get really crazy.
Yeah. Well, 4 was only $30.
Yeah, that one's never been expensive. Do you have Tactics?
No, they did have that though, and I was like, I mean, I don't know.
It's apparently pretty good.
Yeah.
I have it, but I've not played it. It's I think it's a prequel to. It's definitely connected to 4. I think it takes place before 4. Like maybe I want to say it might even be a long time before 4, like decades maybe. So, like younger versions of some older characters, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. But anyway, like I think a lot of people kind of considered it to redeem 4 a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 it's fine, but it just feels
like it's kind of boring.
I felt like I mean, I've said it many times. Like, I had absolutely no idea I was about to go into the final battle when I
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, like things are finally heating up. I think this is going to get good.
And then
it's like, oh wait, the credits are rolling. That was the final boss.
Right.
Like, I thought the game was just getting started. It's like one of the few times I've been disappointed, like, that the game was so short, right? Although, you know, if I had been like, you know, serious about trying to get all of the 108 stars or something like that, I might have seen it coming because I would have realized like, oh, you know, I really did think the game was just getting going.
Well, that was also when you're like, you know, you know, like working on beating your backlog. So it was probably like, oh, that's kind of like a simultaneously like a pleasant surprise.
Well, no, that was before then because I played it right away.
Oh,
It was that came out. I want to say my junior year in college. Yeah, I played that right away. You know, that was maybe one of the few games that year that I made the time to play, apart from Final Fantasy XI. It's actually kind of impressive that it didn't fall on the backlog.
yeah.
5 did end up on the backlog though, but I played through it PS3 days. I want to say I played it on PS3. Pretty sure I played it on PS3. Have you had any compatibility issues on PS3?
See, Xenos Paradox says for $20 for
Yes,
the $20 super chat. Thank you. Saying Suikoden 2 is a $200 plus game. Corey, if you go that route, maybe that'll help. Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's funny because I used to have 2. Like, I had 2 when it was new. And I sold 1, 2, and 3 to help fund my move to New York for $80 for all 3 of them together. So I feel like that sucks, but you know, it made sense at the time. Yeah.
I have Dave's old Suikoden 2 here.
Right. I remember when you had gotten that.
Yeah, because so he got one year that all 3 of us went to Too Many Games. Dave got this like real mint condition Suikoden 2. Mostly because it's his favorite game, and you know, if he wanted to show it on video, he wanted to look as good as possible. And the problem with this one, it might be hard to see, but down here there is
like a barcode.
It's over like the white part of the image, although it does cover the main character's feet. There's like a sticker with a barcode on it. Otherwise, it's impeccable condition. But yeah, this was Game Dave's.
I don't know if I can do
and
this.
when we got back, like he let me have it for like half price. And I'm like, well, I can't see it. He's like under the stipulation that if you ever were to get rid of it, you'd sell it back to me.
Interesting. Just because it's, you know, the one he cares about all that.
Well, yeah, but he also said, I also know you'd never do that.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to sell it to he wanted to give it to someone who he knew
Yeah.
really wanted it and would
Assuming I go down here, maybe.
right? But just on the off chance that I did. But yeah, he said that like when he had shown it in the videos before, like his thumb would always be covering this. He would like be holding it in such a way where his thumb covers the barcode.
Yeah.
So he wanted to get that mint condition copy. But yeah, I mean, I like having this one with the barcode on, right? Because there's like story and history behind it, right?
Yeah.
So it's me. It doesn't bother me.
No. So I also spent more money than that on Wild Arms 5.
Oh, you did do it. You were saying I thought
Listen,
you would
so
like decide against it.
I'd almost bought the Japanese version in the past. And I'm like, I'll just get that. But I was there, and
Was it the case?
The case. I don't know what the deal was, but everything that was there, even like there's like a case only version that was only like $15 more, or $15 less than one that had the outside case. And so I don't know if it's like changed at all, but like also like I probably paid that con premium.
Sure.
But no, it's even dumber than that, honestly. Like the whole situation is even dumber than that. And it's just like it just got away from me, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. What happened was there was a version in the big box that was $175, which I feel like is maybe more or about equal to like what it goes for. And I was like, I'm gonna think on it, because this is like the first thing I saw when I walked in there. This is so stupid. But then later on, I came across another one. I'm like, oh, can I see it? And it was $200. And he's like, oh, it's sealed.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's a $25 difference to get one that's like, it was in pretty like rough-ish shape, or a sealed one that I'm going to unseal, perhaps, for $25 more. Would you pay that extra $25 at that point?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if you're gonna be paying that much for it, it's dumb. Like I'm
actually really surprised. That feels like a great price though for sealed.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the thing, and it's funny because I thought on that for a little bit, and I was almost going to buy this game, Steambot Chronicles.
Oh yeah. Someone actually said that to me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's like it's like $170.
Yeah, it was a viewer of ours like sent me a letter, and I think it was like stationed in Hawaii or something.
That's really cool. Like it's supposedly really.
He was like, I just really want you to have this game.
It looks really awesome. You know, I was looking at it. It's kind of weird, but also you can be like in a band. Cool. You like can be in a band to like help like make money.
Yeah, I didn't play that far into it, but I tested it out, and it's real neat.
So I ended up getting that Wild Arms, but I walked over. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. And then when I was like looking at that Steambot, and it was 160, and I was like, I'm considering this, but like, why wouldn't I just get the Wild Arms for $40 more than that? Because like that's something I like really wanted. Yeah. And then I was able to like just stupidly justify it in that moment, and not something
like the next convention I go to, I'll be selling some shirts.
Yes.
Preemptively spend that money.
Yes. Yeah, I mean it's embarrassing, and that's like not something that is like not something I do regularly, and that was like after this weekend. But it was funny because I went over there to like I kind of committed myself to like getting that, like, and as soon as I walked over, like someone was just like asking about it, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna buy it right now, and I'm not gonna be able to get it, and I was like kind of happy, but it's in a way, and then they're like, oh, like I can't afford like the sealed, and me knowing that I had seen non-sealed ones for like
$25
only $25 less.
Yeah,
I may as well just. And then he's like, I can't afford a sealed one, so I'm like, all right, I will get that. That's what I said. I'll get that. So I don't know.
You know what I should put on my list next year. In fact, I'm going to write it on my ideas right now. Not that I need an RPG on my list, but I'm pretty sure it's a shorter one. is Wild Arms 4. That's the next Wild Arms.
Oh. But it's funny because I got that, and then I was like, I still actually need Wild Arms 2. Like, so...
Oh, you don't... I'm surprised you don't have that.
Yeah, I mean... So, like, Suikoden 2 and Wild Arms 2, for some reason, I do not have. I see Wrestling with Gaming. Wrestling with Gaming just released an amazing NBA Jam video. What I think is so cool is just kind of like seeing his style evolve. Is it's like his stuff has like really taken on a similar feel and flow of like Splash Wave used to do. I don't know if Splash Wave still makes videos very often, but Wrestling with Gaming's videos feel like Splash Wave, but with him presenting.
Yeah, I mean, he does such a fantastic job with all those heavily researched videos.
Yeah. Dang,
I saw 90s Gaming Guy was asking t-shirts how much per shirt. You can find the link in the description of this very stream. And,
yep.
Other videos we release. It says new MLiG t-shirts and other merch. You know, I should have kept it on. I was wearing for the shooting I did for my updated setup tour video. What I did yesterday, I was wearing a retro RGB shirt, and what I was wearing yesterday was the retro RGB shirt. What I was wearing today was the Macho Nacho shirt. Yeah, I got them when I was at Retro.
Oh, I can hold on to the people when I throw them.
The Retro RGB one is awesome. It's a shot of Bill Reiser from NES Contra that like would scan like off of a PVM and just made out
cool.
scan lines.
Yeah,
and it's like an actual like photograph that like Bob shot off of a PVM and then like Ariel like cut it out in such a way that it would like go on a shirt. Really neat. But yeah, you can get our merch there and several other retro YouTube folks from that Artistic Pixel site.
Yep, the Henry Clark has put a link there.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I feel silly having spent that much. Wrestling with Gaming said I spent $60 on Thunder in Paradise. It's the most I've spent this year on games, and you know, I've had a couple of big purchases, I guess, this year, but I've also, you know, like that's the point I'm at with this stuff, I guess. Like a lot of the stuff I'm looking for, I'd rather get less and then spend.
Like, get one thing you really want than like 20 things you only saw.
Yes.
I think we're both kind of starting to naturally settle into that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the conventions I've been to this year have been more like quality over quantity in terms of what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to say that the cheap games are less quality, but the big expensive ones are more, but you know, I've been holding back my money to get something special.
Right. Imagine finding Hyperdual. Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking at. There's like one vendor that I see at a lot of different events that has a Hyperdual, and it just gets more expensive every time I see it. And it's like, it's got to be like $700 at this point.
I see Izana Shinatose was commenting on the Cabela's games in the new video and asking if we tried the Dangerous Hunt games.
So there was a Dangerous Hunt. So it's funny because there's several games in that video that I didn't own, and I have a hacked PS3. So that's like how I was able to play stuff like Rambo is hard to get for like a decent price, and I was not sure if I was gonna like it. And I spent a good portion of yesterday like actually looking for it. But Dangerous Hunts was like one that I was like thinking about like trying to cover, but I could not. And I did actually like get it, but I couldn't get the move controller to like register with it. It was like I don't know if it was like the fact that the system was hacked or what. I don't know, but I couldn't get it to work right. So I am familiar with
it. Something that I noticed these past 2 days when I was shooting parts of my room tour, I had my Wii dashboard on a TV in the room just for background. And I noticed yesterday, and I wasn't sure if it was like this at first or not, but there were sort of greenish speckles, like pixels, kind of flickering on and off.
On your PS3?
On the Wii.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh, that's concerning. It wasn't a problem for the video on the screen in the background. You couldn't notice it, but if you looked up close, you're like, oh, there's some pixels flickering greenish, right. or some of them were kind of turquoise. It was mostly like toward the middle of the screen, and today I turned it on, because I wanted to have the same video in the background. It looked fine. And I was like, I wonder if like the longer it's on, if there's going to reappear, and they did. So I wonder if like
it's like a GPU.
Is it like
failure.
GPU or memory starting to go? I mean, this is my launch Wii. It's my original personal Wii. Like I wonder, like, does thermal paste need to be replaced, or is it too far gone, or what?
I don't know. That's a bummer, though.
Yeah. Exile Mage is saying thoughts on the Nintendo Music app. I think they're just doing it to open the DMCA floodgates. I mean, I doubt it, because I don't think they're going to be any worse than they have been on that front.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of neat.
I think the coolest thing about it is that you can like extend the songs. That just makes me feel like, oh, they're not like just recording. It's like,
it's like actually.
It's
it might be the same file format. It's like it's like a.
Oh, I forgot I had the dash.
I'm trying to think what the file format is. There's like a particular file format that's like popularly used for sound files and games, and I assume it's probably because they loop really easily.
Dash.
Or in part because they loop really easily. It might just be playing the same types of files. It might almost be playing them in like a game engine.
Right.
So I think it's OGG. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about how it's implemented, but I do know that that's like a format that's, or maybe the format that's used in game engines these days.
Yeah, like it's not like Ogvorbis. Is that what it's the name of what the full name is? I think. It's pretty cool, but it does not have very much on it.
Oh, I see Hung Lei said that launch Wii's have that issue due to GPU burning up from having the Wii Connect Hint 24 powering the CPU and GPU without the fan running. Ooh. Someone, I did ask in a Discord server about it. And someone said something about Wii Connect 24 and I didn't understand what they meant by that. I guess now I understand what they meant by that.
Yeah. Oh, Uh-oh. Did I? Oh, no, hang on. I kind of got you back. I don't know what's going on here. All right. It should be back. Should be back. I didn't realize that was happening. Like
well, I mean, I think it's only been a moment.
Yeah. I'm back to... It doesn't say any drop frames, but it did... I didn't hit an internet button, but maybe somebody did. Should be okay. All right. We're back. I don't know what that was about. I didn't do anything.
I mean, you know, maybe your internet had a fart.
Maybe it did.
I got a.
Is really? I was asking if there's like a fix for that though. Is there any? I wonder if there's a. Is anyone saying if there's a fix for you to be able to fix your Wii?
I don't know. Did someone say anything about that?
I don't know.
Well, Hung Lei was saying that launch Wii's have the issue due to the GPU burning up from having Wii Connect 24 powering the CPU and GPU without the fan running. So, I don't know.
The GPU is burned up. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something that can be remedied. That's disappointing. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a system start to fail due to like GPU or memory issues, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever happened. It's just be kind of sad because it was my launch Wii.
Man, I don't like...
Xeno's Paradox. I did read your second super chat. Maybe it was when the stream was starting to fail. I will read it again because I started discussing it. Xeno's Paradox second super chat said, any interest in playing the newly released Sega Saturn translation for Princess Crown? It's a Vanillaware action RPG that didn't leave Japan. Yeah, I am interested. I mean, I've been interested in it ever since Odin Sphere.
Yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been like a remake of it, though.
I mean, I don't know who owns it because it was it was made by a lot of the same people,
right?
For Vanillaware, but it's not Vanillaware proper, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know who owns it. I don't know if it's. I don't even know if it's like a Sega game or someone else. I have no idea who made it. But yeah, I actually don't know a lot about it. I don't know if it like the structure is very similar to Odin Sphere or what.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm absolutely interested in checking that out though.
So, but there's like definitely some drama happening around it. I haven't been following it very closely, but from what I understand is that a team was working on it for like 10 years. And it never came out. Like it maybe had early versions or something like that. And then this other person came along, took what they had built upon or had done, and then
made it like ultra literal, right?
And, yeah, well, like just like was just like a straight translation.
like absolutely.
I don't know if it's like a machine translation of it all.
It's I read some excerpts from it, and like it sounded like, you know, it sounded like this person was like ultra hardcore on the no deviations from the original Japanese text train of thought, and it's like it is almost unreadable because it's so stilted. It was the excerpts I read were really bad, but then am I remembering right that the next thing that happened though was that in response to that the unfinished translation those people ended up finishing it? Or
no, they haven't finished it, but I think that they're probably back working on it because now they gotta.
So the one that's out there is the really
they don't want people
bad?
thinking like the one that's out there was done by them probably.
Right. So the one that is out there is the one that's not very good. Is that right?
Yes, and I think it's like forked from theirs though. Like they had put some of it out there. So I don't know. There's a lot of dialogue in this. I just want to skip it all. You know, everything's got to have a personality. So they got to have lots of talking.
Yeah.
Just,
you know, I wish developers would keep story out of their Mega Man games, you know?
like we don't need to go back and forth 6 times.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, they want people feeling attached to these characters, and then, you know, share their fan art on social media and make a little fandom around it, and
yeah.
I just want robots go boom. You know?
Yeah.
Like this is why I
try to avoid this kind of stuff for a stream.
Well, I mean, but you would never know. You would have never known that this game would be kind of chatty. But this is why, like, I just like completely wrote off the Gunvolt series.
Yeah.
Like I am done. I will not be tempted by another Gunvolt game. Like I skipped that what was it, Luminous Avenger X?
Yeah.
And you ended up accidentally getting 2 copies.
Right.
Or no, they just sent 2 by mistake, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so you gave it to me. But like even back that far, I was like, I'm not buying any more of these. The only one that I succumbed to was after I decided to do that was Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've only played a little bit of, but you know. I don't trust Inti Creates with story. Like, you know, they can do some okay some okay to great retro action games. But man, when they give in to their storytelling impulses, it's so much that it detracts from the game. Like I feel like
I wouldn't mind this stuff if I wasn't streaming, but it's like back and forth. It's like, all right.
Yeah, but even still, like you gotta keep it short for a 8-bit looking game. You really do.
Yeah.
Like it's so rare that like I feel story is so intrusive to reduce the game. I mean, I might be like, yeah, I could do with less of this, but like I really feel like Inti Creates they do sometimes do so much annoying story that I just don't care at all about that it does like get the game for me.
See, I feel like having this move the uppercut move would have really helped on that boss I was kind of stuck at. I finished the old Silent Hill 2 day before yesterday.
Oh yeah?
It was okay. It was okay. Like, I really had a real problem with the camera. I got the in water ending.
I couldn't tell you what ending I got.
But it was...
I remember the final battle.
Yeah.
Or if it wasn't the final battle, it was a battle near the end. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like I liked Silent Hill 1 much more personally, despite 2 being the fan favorite. Like, you know, I know people are like, oh my gosh, it's got such deep themes.
I like the themes are.
I'm just like, whatever.
Are really, really interesting, but I feel like you got to really go out of your way to find out more. Like, I don't even know if I like missed stuff or what.
It's pretty obtuse.
Yeah,
for sure. But I will say though, like I said, when I record that footage for Digital Foundry, I played like the first 3 hours, like right up to the start of a hospital, and it definitely wormed its way into my head. Like it, I almost feel like it made more of an impression revisiting it than it did when I initially played it. I didn't really expect that, so like I am kind of interested in revisiting the original now, to be honest, because I feel like I now, just from replaying it that little bit, I feel like I almost have a more positive impression of it than I did, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was I played through it.
Well, I'm definitely interested in trying the remake more so than I was before. So I'm sure that it fleshes things out like a whole bunch, or like explains a lot of the more obtuse things.
There was $5 super chat from foreign user. Thank you, saying I would replay E's Origin all the time if I could skip the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Do you really not skip them or like mash really fast through them? It's been a long time since I played.
I don't know. I don't remember. Although I have played it more recently than you have.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could have maybe released kind of around that time where skippable cutscenes wasn't quite yet fully standard, although I think it was getting close. For something fast-paced like an Ys game that could be easily replayed, you would think they would at least have that feature for replays.
Especially when you like it's a game that you're supposed to play through it like multiple times. But,
a lot of people
but then again, you know, you get different cutscenes per character. So.
I see a lot of people talking about UFO 50.
Oh, I almost played that tonight.
Is that only on Steam?
Right now it is, yeah.
You have it?
I did get it, like just based on word of mouth. I've never,
I don't
really know too much about it, but
how much is it?
I feel like it might have been like $24 or something, or $17.
Well, you should.
I will definitely that was on my I almost played it tonight, and I probably should have. I think I probably thought about it, and then I forgot about it after I thought about it.
Next time you stream, you should do it.
Okay.
Because everyone talks real good about it. I feel like though, like surely it's going to get console ports.
Oh, I'm sure.
Surely there will be a physical.
Yeah. For things that are that popular, yeah.
You know, I was looking into Tetris Forever, and I guess it's not getting a physical right away.
No. And this is kind of what They do. That's kind of like what Digital Eclipse does, and I'm like, I am happy about that.
Atari 50 didn't Atari 50 have physical right away?
It did, but that's. I think that was before they did like a. Started doing Gold Master stuff. Like that's not Atari 50 is not like an official Gold Master type deal.
Right.
And I think the idea is probably going to be that Gold Masters.
Is Tetris
they'll be like definitive.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Gold Master 3.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I think that's going to be a situation where they're going to do those. They'll do like a physical after it's completely done and they know that they're not going to put anything more in. So it can be like this definitive final version. I bet you that's what they're doing with that, and why there's that makes me happy that that's something that they're considering, you know.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's like comes at you so fast. What'd you buy?
You know what I bought the other day? Well, kind of some backstory first. I was really excited for Triangle Strategy on the Quest.
Right.
Because I thought like, oh, that'll be just a really neat way to play it. And you know, after I finished Humanity, like I was kind of looking for something that would just be like a really easy to play, casual, like seated VR game. You know, there would be like something fun to play just like for a bit before bed, right? I thought that would, you know, potentially be like that. And it came out on Halloween.
Right, yeah.
And I don't like how they did it.
Oh, you don't like it?
I mean, I have the Switch version. I've not played through it, but I just thought like when that was coming out, I'm like, oh, like I know I haven't played the version I already have, but that just seems like really neat.
Yeah. And it's not, you don't like it?
No, it's just the reason Humanity works so well as like a seated VR game is because it lets you enjoy the VR view, but it still basically controls like a console, right?
Right.
And they were trying too much to integrate the VR controls as like pointer controls for like directing where the characters go and stuff. And
so it gets all cluttered.
The biggest issue was like changing your perspective. Like, you know, you could in Humanity, for example, you turn the camera over with the stick, just like a console game, just like the regular version of Humanity. But here you have to like actually like grab the board, like reach out, grab it, and like move it up or down. If you want to rotate your view, you have to like reach out with your other hand and like rotate it with both hands.
So you're like having to be like really involved.
Yes. And it's like, and the other thing too, like I imagined that it would be able to run at a high resolution, and it's not very clean looking. Like the text and stats and stuff like that just don't look very good because of how low resolution it is. So like I popped in the Switch version and I'm like, oh yeah, like this is way easier to read. I mean the 3D resolution is quite low in both versions, but on the whole, like the Switch version just seems like it's just would play a lot.
Come on,
right?
Don't me down there.
The only thing I liked about the Quest version was that the colors are a lot more vivid. Like the Switch version has like very like kind of like dark and washed out colors, like you know, kind of Octopath Traveler-ish, although a little different.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like very bright and vivid, and there doesn't seem to be an option in either version for changing it. It just kind of is the way it is. So I like the colors. So anyway, I requested a refund.
Yeah, which is the second time you've done that.
Like how I've done that. Well, you know, like I feel like with VR, especially though, like it is going to be very hit or miss, right? Like
yeah,
like you know, you either like how they do something in VR or you don't. So I kind of feel like I kind of feel like for a VR product like that, I don't feel bad about it because it's like, well, you know, like some people are going to like how a VR game controls and some people aren't, you know, like it's going to work for you or it's not. So you know what I got instead? I had I requested the refund and then I had a 30% off coupon and I got a Batman Arkham Shadow.
Oh, cool.
And I played a bit of it the other day and didn't have a chance until I played it for a bit before the stream tonight. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I don't doubt that it is.
It is definitely a standing game. I mean, there's no way you could play without standing. And you need some room because, like, man, like I like my hand like just barely kissed like a like I've got this
like a wall.
I've got this like oil painting of of a Sheltie that my dad found at an antique store years ago.
Right.
They gave me, and it's like hanging on the wall by the garage, and like that, like the kind of the foyer entry area is where I've been playing VR stuff. Which it's not a very big space, but it's where I've been playing because it just is kind of the most space. And like my hand, like just barely kissed that painting when I'm like trying to punch. Like, so you definitely want to play with a little space.
Yeah, the place where I play, I have like quite a bit of space.
Yeah, it's neat. Like the punching stuff is like it's like kind of QTE like, which sounds lame, but the way they do it really works. Like you face an enemy you want to fight, and you like throw a punch in their direction. You don't have to be all that close to them. You just throw a punch in their direction and you like zoom right up to them.
Okay.
And they take the first hit and then like it'll show.
Which is kind of like how it works in those games anyways. Like he like kind of skates around during those fights.
Right. And then it'll have like, you know, like it'll have like symbols on screen for like left uppercut, right uppercut, or like punch here, and there, or like it'll have like a number counter, like so you like when you get them on the ground, you like when they like fall on the ground, you can like if their health is low enough to do a
punch them in their face.
Oh yeah, well you like push both fists forward and then you like leap up on them and then you like pow 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 their face and then like at the end you do like a downward like two fists down bam. It's kind of awesome. And then like when if an enemy is coming up like to the side, you'll get like the counter attack icon and like your peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
And all you do is you just like punch your fist to the right and then you zoom over to the guy that was about to hit you.
Oh, okay.
So you like it's very much like the regular games where you jump back and forth between different enemies, you know, as they're like approaching you to counter you. So like once you're on each person, it's kind of QTE like, but you're like free to leave that sequence at any point to attack another enemy. So it's really neat. You're like you get really into it. Also, but like probably it's so silly, but it's super awesome. Like my favorite thing is if you need to like make a longer jump, like and you need to use your cape, you like reach behind you and like grab the triggers and then like raise your hands. It's awesome. It's pretty cool.
I'm interested in trying it, but like 50 is a little steep for me.
Well, I had a 30% off coupon.
Oh,
You probably have one too.
for that one, like.
Well, do you have? I mean, just for anything eligible. Like
I got ribbon.
They give out those 30% off coupons like all the time.
Oh.
Like I've spent them before.
Gee. I'm rescuing those guys, and I wonder if I think they're supposed to open up like special abilities or something if I go back to the base. Like I don't know if levels are meant to be beaten like on their first try. This is, I mean, it's tough. I almost feel like I should have put it on easy mode.
Also, Batman is pretty linear, which I kind of like. I feel like it's the format really well. Like I thought it might. I mean, it's possible maybe you'll revisit some areas later, but it just feels like it just is constantly moving forward, which is, it's, I wasn't expecting it to be open world, but like it seems even more straightforward than like Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for the VR format. I saw Tsunami Rider asking if any hard Kawase games on Switch are any good, and Jeremy Vorita said that any hard Kawase Fresh is all right. Yeah, I finished that one.
There was a Seabass Nap.
Yeah. I see that. There was a $10 super chat from old Seabass Nap. See, Coury is wearing your football club shirt.
Yeah, those.
You should appreciate that. Saying, just got home from Japan 1 hour ago. Dang, I like landed 1 hour ago, or like you got home from your airplane. Dang, I'm surprised you aren't like immediately passed out.
Maybe you slept a bunch on the plane or something.
Phew, I don't know. I got House of the Dead 2, Dreamcast light gun, and a bunch of Nintendo controller gotcha keychains for friends. I also met Kanye West, but that's a story for another day. Wait. Are you telling me that you took a Japanese Dreamcast light gun home on the plane?
Interesting. Yeah, it seems like...
Because this is a common story of like... I mean, we talk about this at conventions all the time. It's like, oh man, I'd buy this light gun if I weren't flying home. Like, maybe it's not a problem if it's checked luggage. I would love to know.
I can't believe I just survived that. Right?
If that was any complication, though. I mean, in Japan, they probably like know what it is.
Yeah.
But then you probably had to recheck your luggage if you had a connecting flight once you got in America. But man, that's awesome. I want to go back real bad. That is pretty awesome, though. Oh, hey, we got a $5 super chat here from good old Craig Watt.
Yeah, we haven't seen Craig in a little while.
Yeah, well, he says, well now.
I see him on Instagram a lot.
Oh, okay. Saying, it's been an eternity, my friends. Are you guys going to do a stream of the new Power Rangers Rita's Rewind?
Yes. I think we will be doing that. And if all works out, we might even have some special guests with us I need to like.
Is that getting a physical right away or no?
No. I mean, it comes out on December 10th.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I did not grow up with Power Rangers, but I love the idea of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And that game was really good. like I was the age where like it was like kind of 50-50 whether you'd get into it or not. Like people about 2 years younger than me were really into it, oftentimes, and some people buy into it. But like at the time, like I was kind of getting tired of Ninja Turtles at the time.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of losing interest in that kind of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I had seen it,
but
it's not something that I watched. I was aged out of it at that point.
Right. I love the idea of it though.
Yeah.
You know, I like the I like the aesthetic of tokusatsu type stuff, even if I don't watch it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll definitely.
I like Beautiful Joe. Like Beautiful Joe is like my, I guess my closest connection to that stuff. Beautiful Joe and Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Case 1-3.
Yeah, we will definitely be streaming that. Ideally, like it'll be. I'm trying to get like some of the developers like on a stream with us for it.
That'd be awesome.
Because I did the I've done some work for Digital Eclipse, and I was like, do you guys want to? Would you guys be open to doing this? Like doing a stream with us when the game comes out? And like, okay, he was like, I want to, but you got to talk to like our PR company. So I have to like confirm it with them first.
What was what was it? I feel like I'm pretty sure I just bought. I'm already forgetting what it was. Oh, didn't they do that? Didn't Digital Eclipse also do that like Wizardry?
Yes. Yep.
Remaster.
It's a remake. Yeah.
But it's like, well, yeah, but it's like a remake, but it looks like it. Does it just like follow the original game logic basically?
I think so.
Like it looks like it looks like it's the original game, but just with
right.
Like I didn't even know about it until the other day, and I ordered the physical copy because I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, I still have to order that. It was. If I ever have a chance to do anything with Digital Eclipse, like I'll always say yes, just because I think that what they are doing is like just really, really cool, and like the Tetris stuff is just like looks insane. And I can't believe that's like as close as it is. Like it's coming out soon.
Yeah, but it's really cool to see that they're also doing like a lot more like original development, like the Power Rangers. Like, that's pretty wild. Like, it sounds like they are in a good place right now.
Yeah,
I hope. I hope things are going good for them. It feels like they're at the top of their game.
Yeah. But I see. I don't know if anybody saw me post it or if it's been going around or anything, or if Zodiac is still in the chat. But we recorded a podcast with Victor Ireland of Working Designs fame, and that podcast came out today. The Retro Hangover on the Retro Hangover podcast. We recorded an episode with Victor Ireland. talking about the Lunar remasters. So basically, the whole conversation was, yeah. If you can try, if you can like post that, like just or a link to it or something like that. It was incredible. It was so cool to be able to like talk to him about a lot of that stuff. But really, the reason I
really want to listen to it.
Had like reached out, not to like us, but like he talks to Joe from GameStack a lot. And when that Lunar remaster got announced, he was kind of bummed because they are using his script, but they are like re-recording all the VO for it. And the song. So he had offered that up. I mean, he kind of like talked about like how he had not been contacted by Gung Ho, and he wanted to like. He said he would want them to use it for real cheap, is what he said, and he just wanted to kind of build awareness and tell people to ask Gung Ho, like, hey, you should get this instead of re-recording everything, like, and have it as an option for people that, you know, that like it, like that version. You know, like I understand it's not for everybody, or that, you know, like some portions of it like have not aged well, but
they might have to put a disclaimer on the front.
That's
you know,
that is more in the text, I think, which is what they're using, but they're probably are changing that a little bit. He's talking specifically about the songs and the voiceover, because they're using his script because they have the rights to that stuff.
Wouldn't it be so cool too if they could have the option for like a CD soundtrack?
Oh yeah, I mean that would be really cool, as if like that was an option. For
I mean, it is a shame that they're not offering both versions because they're so different. I mean, it's absolutely worth having both represented in the collection, but what are you gonna do, I guess?
Yeah. And I mean, really the whole thing is that, like, why not just make it like as definitive as you can? Yeah. So I put out some tweets and stuff like that, saying like people should like reach out to Gung Ho and say that the longtime fans like want this stuff, and you should, if you can do it for real cheap, you may as well, right? Like have it as an option. Like I know that they're re-recording a lot of the stuff, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, like I don't want to hear anybody else as the voice of Galleon. I'm serious. Like, and I'm sure that anybody who like played him back in the day would say like, I agree. Like John Truitt is Galleon, and like that's like how I feel about it. You know, like I can't imagine anybody else playing that character.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, and you know, the thing that I've been like I said was that if this was offered as an option, you don't have to use it, and you can use like Gung Ho's like own voiceover if you want to. Like everybody wins. Everybody wins. There's no reason not to have that, and like even just like in the when it comes to like preservation of it, you know, because that is, you know, like how so many people played it, and you know, one of the things that we like learned during that conversation is that Lunar was like not a big success in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not watching the pattern so much because I'm like talking about this other thing. So it's much more popular here than it is there. So it really feels like,
and honestly, that's probably because the right company brought it to the right audience at the right time.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas Japan already. I mean, look, I played Lunar last year. I thought it was okay. Had a lot of issues. And that's probably how a lot of Japanese players felt when it came out, because they were already so accustomed to RPGs. They had so many, you know, RPGs of comparable quality, I would say, right?
Right.
And it would not have had as big of an impact. I guess I'm surprised it's not a big hit there, though, just because of how many times it's been remade, right? But like, yeah, I guess like Victor Ireland just grabbed the right product at the right time, gave it the right kind of translation that audiences that gravitated to his stuff wanted. It was the right game at the right time with the right people for the
right.
You know, and as much as I had issues with it, I can't deny that the way that they did things for the 90s, it was a good fit. It made sense.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. So I feel like the conversation is pretty fun. You know, there's some good questions in there. And we kind of it was only supposed to be an hour, and we like went for nearly 2 hours.
I mean, of course.
Yeah, there's just no way that I could just talk about this stuff for less than that. But it's me and Chris from Retro Hangover and Joe from GameStack and Victor Ireland all talking. It you know, it's a pretty fun conversation, I think. Especially like if you have any like a soft spot for any of that stuff, like I do, then I think you'll get a lot out of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really want to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. It's fun, and
I'd have probably listened to it before the stream today, but I forgot it was releasing today.
Let's see if I can do this. I need to get serious here.
I mean, this guy looks.
I was just talking about other stuff, and
yeah,
that's really my problem.
Yes. Fair. The remake looks really interesting, but the one weird thing to me is it looks like they're using the original font, but just like scaled. And it looks really weird. I don't understand why they don't just either use the original pixel font as is or a new font. It didn't. From what I saw, I did not like the look of the font. But otherwise, like they're doing some pretty interesting things, I think.
And you may, and having that voiceover would really go a long way. For the really the fans who have been there for a long time, like just supporting the game in the U.S. for a long time.
Speaking of voiceover and having mixed feelings about it, when I was testing out the Quest and Switch versions of Triangle Strategy to kind of make my decision about like, okay, do I really want to play the Quest version or should I just play the Switch version? I'm pretty sure I'm going to turn the voices off. It gave me the same vibes that Octopath Traveler's voices gave.
Man, doesn't
which I just did not like.
Doesn't Dragon Quest 3 come out in like 2 weeks?
Yeah, it does.
I wonder if that's going to
I'm
have a lot
assuming that won't have voices, but it never even crossed my mind that it might. I don't know. Like, I thought the voices in Live Alive were fine. I remember some people saying they didn't like them. I thought Live Alive's voices were fine, but I don't like the voices in Octopath Traveler, and I
just had it that one time.
I like what I heard in Triangle Strategy even less. I'm not sure about Octopath 2. Like part of it for Octopath, I felt that the voices were mostly well done enough, but they just felt out of place. in a retro style RPG. Like something about it. Like I just wanted to read those words, not listen to them. It's weird. Oh, interesting. Sylvando's voice actor is the lead character in Triangle Strategy. The voice that really bothered me the most was the strategist guy. Like there was zero emotion in his voice. Like he was like, shouting or calling out, or like sounded like when he was like first introduced, like he was like calling for the main character or something. And it just sounded like he was barely trying to read the script. There was just like it really bothered me. I don't know, like some games like that, like if it's a game that's going for a retro vibe, like sometimes it doesn't matter if the voices are well done or not. It's just like sometimes that a retro style game just puts me in a frame of mind where I don't want to hear voices. Like
yeah.
Something about like breaks the vibe.
Totally. Yeah.
It did not bother me in Live Alive, but in the other HD 2D games I've played so far, it has. Probably sounds weird to most people, but
I'm glad that some people like the the light gun video. And I was very happy to see like a lot of people agreeing with me on it just like not feeling the same. And kind of explaining why it doesn't feel the same. So that's cool. Not a lot of people watched it, but it had to be out in October, so it was like kind of sent to die on Halloween.
I did like how I didn't see any comments on the video, but people in our Discord at least enjoyed me trying to make the the sponsorship spot worth their while. I'm like, hey, here's a little setup tour bonus.
Yep. You should fit that into the real setup video somehow.
Well, no, but I said that it won't be in there.
Yeah. You should like shoot a video from your living room of you shooting that in there.
Do a little Back to the Future action.
Yeah.
Back to the Future Part 2. That would be funny.
Let me see if I can do anything with these the rescued people here.
Like the rescued people like makes me think of the all the Reploids you have to save in Mega Man X6.
Probably inspired by that to an extent. I feel like there's some.
Or, they might also be in X5. I forget. They were annoying in X6 though because of the museum level that has randomized layouts, and you don't even know which rooms you're going to get each time you go. Mega Man X6. Not a favorite. I mean, even back then, like in retrospect, Mega Man X5 and X6 don't get that wordy.
Yeah.
But they kind of do. Like at the time, I thought they were, and I was just like so annoyed by like the back and forth between the characters. And, it's all like they're all like trying to have motivation behind the Mavericks, and X is always like, "I don't want to fight you."
Yeah.
And it's always this back and forth, and having a build up to why are we fighting?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want Robot go boom. I just want Robot.
I often think about the the voice acting in Mega Man X, Maverick Hunter X.
Oh yeah. Like, looks like you've got Maverick. I'm gonna have to take you out.
But he's like, "You're insane," and he yells at Sigma at the end. He's like, he says something. He's like, improved. You're insane.
I mean,
like the voice acting in that. Like, I feel like he screams every line.
I kind of love it though. Like the other X games don't love all the blah 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 blah. But Maverick Hunter X like hits the right tone. It's so like, I mean, it's unintentional, I would say, but it's so stupid. I love it. I love it. I do like Maverick Hunter X. I think it is a good time.
Yeah.
I'm going.
What's this stuff? Enough bits for this chip. I just like spend all my money.
I'm not sure if I can find. I wanted to find my old rant about how much I hated Mega Man X6. I'm pretty sure I've read it on stream before, but wait a second. Oh, I found. Okay, I found it. Hang on.
What is this? So it's a double jump.
Well, I found the page. I need to find what month was it? Let's see.
Go bonk 'em.
Go bonk 'em.
Yeah, that's what it says. Gain a protective aura that deals damage on contact while running or sliding. Go bonk 'em. Zoom by, last longer, no pushing around. Better chances of survival. Collect them all. Safety first. Efficient. No waste. Stay safe. Efficient recovery.
Is this? No, this has to be.
I like that you can get these different items. This game is really, really good.
This has to be where I posted this. Oh man, I can't find it. Shoot. Can't find my rant. It's somewhere out there.
How many tokens did I just get? Okay. I thought I rescued him. The chamber's fragile. Go bonk him. There's a whole other area here. This.
Oh wow, I can't find my Mega Man X6 rant.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thanks, Craig Wan.
Yeah.
So I guess Craig Wan's working the night shift?
I think so, yeah. Oh, those are the bosses that I've beaten, I guess. All right. Power plant. Let's try the mountains.
the mountains.
I like the different, like how the characters are just various shades of a single color.
Right. Well, I mean,
Makes me think of like Ocean software games on the NES. Or Ocean.
Well, it's.
games.
I feel like it's a. It's. I mean, I think the color limitations of Game Boy Color and NES are pretty similar. I think, if not exactly the same. I don't actually know the specifics, but like I feel like this kind of color scheme was more common on Game Boy Color than NES. Like the Zelda games had a lot of that, where each character or enemy would generally be various shades of the same color, rather than using a bunch of different colors. But it is a really cool stuff.
The music is excellent too, and it's kind of nice that it feels almost Mega Man X-ish, but you don't get like the weapons from it, like bosses. It looks like, which is kind of actually kind of nice. You just like you have so many abilities as it is.
Oh, I see Brandon Smith and Jasmine talking about. Select few Wii games are only 16:9, like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and was with a few later Wii games are always in widescreen. They just put Black Boar's 1 and 4-3, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and Kirby's Return to Dreamland R2. See, that's interesting to me. So, is it really the norm for Wii games to have proper 4:3 support? Because see, when the Wii came out, my primary TV was my HD CRT, which, even though it was 4:3, it had a widescreen mode, which I almost always used when it was an option, unless it was a bad widescreen mode, like on like the PS2 and GameCube, it was somewhat common for widescreen modes to have like stretched 2D elements. I didn't like it for those, but like for like the Wii, like almost always, like they were, proper widescreen modes where the 2D elements were appropriately adjusted for widescreen, and you did get a wider field of view. I know you don't get more pixel resolution. I know it's stretched pixels, and some people don't like widescreen from that era because of that. But it's never bothered me having the the pixels just made to be fit 16. That's never bothered. So I've always played Wii at 4:3.
Yeah, I kind of
and I guess I assumed that most games don't have proper 4:3 modes. Like I assume most PS3 and 360 games don't either, but I know some do. And I've talked about before, but that's something I think would be really fun to do for a video. But I also feel like there's probably so many that I would never discover or know about or find. Probably some major examples people would be shocked if we missed.
Yeah.
But I really think it would be fun to do a video like looking at 4:3 modes on Wii, PS3, and 360.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we were
just
kind of
like how
talking about that
they're
in Discord,
propped
right?
and stuff like,
We were talking about like the PS3 and 4:3 stuff, like in the Discord. Well, other people were like doing the video.
Okay.
Well, you were just like, I think you were talking.
That's something
during it.
I think that would be really fun to do.
Yeah.
Especially because like I think PS3 and Xbox 360 480p were awesome on a VGA monitor.
Yeah. I had a real stupid idea for a video that like is so far out of our wheelhouse that I feel like it might be fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I told you about it. Like a video on. So I don't know. I just like started playing. I saw that Netflix has like a whole game. You can play games on Netflix. And I was like, how does that even work? How does it work? Do you like sync it to your TV? But no, you can like. There's an app you download, and you can use your phone as a controller. And it's like
you can use a real controller.
But I wonder if you can like sync a real controller to your phone, and then use it. But I mean, there's like a whole like some random games on there. Mostly
Are
like
they,
not like.
Are they stream? Are they streaming?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't think they're streaming. I think they're
running natively.
Like it downloads them maybe or something. I don't know. I like honestly I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like I just thought it was like quirky, and I thought like I should just like do a video about it because I don't know. Like as someone who would never play games like that. Like what is it even like how even viable is it for anybody? And I'd probably be a lot harder on it than like literally anybody else. It would be, I guess.
But like you would 100%, I feel, regret committing to make that video after like a day of working on it.
But if I just like made it like not that long, I mean, why not
that's
just?
What we all.
I mean, it just like it's just like kind of out of like the wheelhouse, and I just feel like it'd be kind of.
It would be out of left field. I mean, if you want to do it, I ain't gonna stop you.
Yeah, I mean, it would not be a long video. I mean, it feels more like something like Re-Res would do.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, why not just do something that is
ever Netflix games?
Yeah, but like most of the stuff is like not fast moving games, and then suddenly out of nowhere is Infernax. And what I've noticed, like based on the two games that I played, one of them is a reverse Suika game type game where you're like, it's like Suika game, but you're shooting the things bust a move style, and it was actually pretty fun. But it's in Infernax. I played both of them for a little bit, like using my phone as the controller. And like I'm pretty sure that like all games run at 30 FPS, even if they like. So, I mean, they're are not
streaming video and stuff. Even if it looks pretty good, I bet they're streaming.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially, like I think that would be just a fun little. It would be a fun random video to do that I don't think that.
No one would see coming except the people watching this stream.
Yeah, and like
401 people watching right now.
And like anybody who has watched our channel is like, why are you doing this?
Oh yeah, the comments would be almost mad, probably.
Yeah.
You wasted your time on something that you knew, that you should have known was going to be bad. Well, what if it wasn't? I don't know. When you were saying reverse Suika game, I thought you were going to say a reverse Suikoden game.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you have to like lose all 108 stars over the course of the game?
And be probably more interesting.
Stars of Destiny. You have to kill them off.
That would be kind of a fun idea. Maybe. But
Okami of Games heard that too.
I just think that like I
earlier.
It's just like such an idea that viewers of the channel would not like or be interested in. But I just think it'd be fun, like, and just like commit to only spending like a couple of days, like a day or two on it. Honestly,
what if making that video was like
our biggest video ever, and then we
was our biggest video ever, and and like suddenly we're like we're major YouTubers.
Yeah, like, and that's like what people want from us.
But then it's like, sorry guys, but we don't. This is the kind of game we actually cover on this
Yeah.
channel. Oh wow.
So I don't know. Like maybe it'd be just like how does it handle like Infernax is like a pixel art game, like how does this stuff look? Like how is it handled? I don't know. Like it would not be popular and not very many people would be interested in it. But I just thought it would be a real random thing to do.
What's a video idea? I had there's leaked stuff about the PS4 Pro getting out there, right? Or excuse me, PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Like I guess there is. I don't know exactly what it's doing, but I guess there is some sort of. I don't know if it's using like a stripped down version of PSSR or something else, but like it's got something in the settings for like upscaling PS4 games specifically, like only PS4 games.
Right.
And like I was like, I really want to look at that. Like that seems like one of the most interesting things. And if it's interesting, like if it's actually like pretty interesting, then I thought like, what if I looked at like PS4 games with the 5 Pro upscale versus PS4 games as they are versus upscaling with, nearest neighbor upscaling with Retrode 4K or Morph versus M Classic. Like, I don't know. Like if it's a good result on the if it's like a good and different and interesting result on the PS5 Pro, like it could be interesting just looking at a bunch of PS4 games. I don't know. Like it depends purely on whether I like try that PS4 image quality boost setting and think it's pretty good, or I hate it. If I hate it, then I'm not going to waste my time. But if not, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how that pans out. I will let you all know what I think of that next stream.
Yeah, because I guess we're gonna
I'll have it on Thursday.
Is that the 7th? 7th on Thursday? I can't believe. So, yeah. So I guess next stream, we'll have that in our greasy palms.
Yeah. I mean, probably the first thing I'm going to test is Final Fantasy 14, just because I'm really curious. If I don't know, it's going to be interesting because I think the 4K mode in Final Fantasy 14 will probably be viable. But the problem is that the 5 Pro doesn't really have much of a CPU boost, so I think that the trouble spots aren't going to be helped much. So I don't know if...
So, I mean, is it going to enhance... you think that it will have a boost for, games that don't have, a patch, some of those PS5 games without a patch will just, run better anyways? If they have an unlocked frame rate or whatever? It doesn't need a Pro patch.
If they have an unlocked frame rate, they absolutely will run better. I mean, 100%. I mean, PS4 Pro does it too.
Mm-hmm. I guess I just never thought about that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's I think that's the biggest selling point. I think more so than games. I think games that don't already run their best getting that little boost is almost more interesting than games designed specifically for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Limsa Lominsa or the most popular news zones. And 14 is going to get its first major patch after Dawn Trail the week after the Pro comes out. And I don't think anyone knows if it's going to have, if they're going to have bespoke Pro support for 14 or if it's just going to be boosted. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's got a pretty significant GPU boost, and I think also memory bandwidth, but there's not much of a CPU boost. So parts of the games that are chugging because of the CPU aren't likely to improve, but GPU-based issues should be pretty nicely smoothed over. Jasmine says Elden Ring is going to be a good PS5 Pro test for that reason. Yeah, right. I think most people are assuming Elden Ring is going to be, quote unquote, fixed by PS5 Pro.
Yeah,
with no patch at all. It should just most likely, I would think, run really well.
Yeah. I mean, I just
Stefan says dynamic resolution scaling, hold the upper resolution more. Stuff like that. I usually don't notice dynamic resolution unless it's just a really low resolution to begin with. But yeah, I mean, I am more.
What are some other games that might have a improvement? I guess I guess.
Well, Resident Evil 2 and 3 got ray tracing modes for the native PS5 and Series X versions, but they don't hold 60. And ray tracing is pretty nice in those games because their reflections are pretty bad without ray tracing. So those, with no patch at all, those should run probably, I bet, locked 60. I mean, I'm just assuming.
It's just, it's weirdly, I just didn't even think about it.
Yeah. I mean, generally...
even though, I knew it was a thing on the 4 Pro.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just, for some reason, it did not... It's just not something I considered. That's kind of stupid that I didn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited about it, but... I was thinking about Ease 5 or Ease 10 will be the first game that I play on it, probably, or play through on it.
Right, and I don't even know if it's probably not.
Oh, it's not going to do anything to that, probably. That probably
unless
runs.
it has a 120 hertz mode or something, which
I don't think it does.
Couldn't play at 4K anyway.
Yeah. There's no benefit for me to be playing that on there.
Yeah. Almost certainly. I have a hard time imagining it won't just be a straight 60 almost all the time.
Yeah.
But Prince of Persia Lost Crown, it already has a 4K 120 mode, but I recall from John's coverage that it has some issues holding 120. So it should be perfect on I was actually thinking about maybe streaming that, sometime after Game Pro.
There you go.
I've got a stack of games over on my PS5 shelf where I just have them stacked laying down on their side, and I haven't integrated them into the shelf. I've added them to my backlog already, but I've not put them on the shelf because I wanted to keep track of which games I have not yet installed, because I didn't want to after a certain point I decided I'm just not going to install any more PS5 games unless I wanted to look at it right away, because I just wanted to wait for the new system to bother to install them, because I moved everything off of internal storage to my my expansion SSD.
Yeah.
Like the NVMe. Not my expansion USB SATA drive that I use for PS4. But I moved because everything on there is PS4. But I moved all of my like PS5 games to the NVMe so that I can just move that to the PS5 Pro. And, you know, but I guess kind of what made me decide to do that and just wait was those problems I had when I briefly tried to stream Until Dawn.
Tried to stream
Remember?
what?
And it just like crashed.
Wait, what was it? You tried to stream what?
Remember when I streamed tried to stream Until Dawn?
Oh yeah.
And it crashed like before I even got to gameplay.
But that was the problem with the game, I think, right?
Probably. I mean, it's gotten some patches.
Yeah.
So, but that was when I was like, well, I tried to move it. I tried to move it to the internal, and I accidentally moved it to the SATA SSD where it couldn't even be played to begin with.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna wait to install any new games unless I want to look at it right away.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait until.
Are you gonna get you're not getting a new internal SSD?
No. I'm just moving. I'm going to move it.
Yeah.
I'm going to move it. So they're basically my base PS5 will have nothing installed except for Astro's Playroom.
Right.
I'm kind of debating whether to like set up the original PS5 like in the retro room just in case I like need to capture stuff from it, or kind of what I want to do with it is just like set it up on the projector at my parents'
I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm just moving mine over there to be using the projector. What am I doing? I keep hitting the wrong button.
I thought you can play all of your main consoles on the projector though, right? But your wireless controllers are kind of the issue, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes it can be an issue. Like it's just it's too far. It's like sometimes it drops in and out. But also like I'll just put it over there, and if I with the cloud save and stuff like that, it's not a big deal. I don't know. Or I'll put it up in the living room. Which, like it actually probably would. It turned into a Fortnite machine in the living room for my son, probably. But that's.
That'd be a shame. I mean, you.
No, well, he'd probably play like he really likes the Spider-Man remastered and stuff. He'd probably play that on it.
Video games obsession says I'm going to hold out for PS6. I'm done with mid-gen.
Yeah. I
didn't even use my PS4 Pro more than a couple times before buying the PS5. For me, the thing is, like I mean, for one, I do have an unhealthy obsession with, getting a better experience. And also, we sometimes like collaborate with Digital Foundry, so it just like makes sense to have access to hardware like that. But another big thing for me is, I think there is a real possibility this could be the last Sony system that supports a disk drive.
Right.
And even though it doesn't come with one, it supports it. And I feel like my interest in PS6 will be almost non-existent if it doesn't have a disk drive. So it's like this could be as far as Sony and I go.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Like, period? Like you're really thinking you're not gonna...
I mean, the idea of building a digital PlayStation library is very unappealing. Like, I would rather build a...
Oh, yeah, you'd rather...
I'd rather build a Steam library.
I think there's 0% chance that you will not
getting
get
a PS6.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
you're probably right, but I don't like the idea of like really getting invested in a console digital ecosystem.
well, you're gonna probably have to at some point.
I don't trust any of them.
I understand, but I mean, you're probably gonna have to at some point if you want to continue to like play their games. I don't think that they will release. I don't think every single game will come out on.
But unless they turn things around, I feel like I'm starting to really become disinterested in like Sony first party. Like I like their games, but like they like I would be okay not having access to them as well. You know?
Okay. I mean, I don't believe you.
Well,
it's easy to say that. Like,
you probably shouldn't because you remember how I was in the Wii generation.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, oh, I don't need a PS3 or an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I can get by on a Nintendo console again. I don't listen. I don't believe me either.
Okay.
I don't believe me either. But I just until that moment happens when physical media is gone from the high-end consoles, it's impossible to guess how I will actually feel at that time. 199 for Joshua Helmke. Oh, come on! Say it, Corey. Say it.
I mean, I believe that is the case. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I don't.
You're probably right. Like I said, I don't believe me either. But like, listen, if Steam starts moving more and more toward having a sort of consoleized type experience, you know, if there is a more powerful option for a Steam Deck console-like equivalent that, you know, would run modern games at, you know, similar settings to a new PlayStation, a PlayStation 6. I think I would be more. I think I would be more interested in that than a PlayStation 6. That if the PlayStation 6 didn't support this game. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to watch Digital Foundry's Bazite video, Henry Clark. I don't quite know what it is. Is it a Linux distro? Well, like, does it kind of like take care? I mean, I'm sure wouldn't you still have issues with like shader compilation and stuff like that, and possibly like, you know, micromanaging per game issues, like every Alex video I watch, like, makes me be like, I don't ever want to touch PC gaming. But
well, that's what I mean.
I know, but at the same time, like, it's just like I don't trust any console manufacturer enough to get invested in their digital storage. Like I have a few digital games, but I don't want to go like heavy on it, you know?
Is that a boss door? You got a boss door.
But I'm really curious though, to see if like all like the talk about, you know, Microsoft might open up Xbox to other storefronts. Like if you could like suddenly install Steam games on Xbox, that would be very interesting. Video Game Obsession says, I think Sony will at least have an option for an add-on optical drive. They still sell a decent amount of physical, it seems, at least according to Amazon's monthly sales. Yeah, I mean, I think they want consumers to move away from it so badly because they want more control over the media, or over the license. They want more control over how you are able to use their product.
Whoa.
They want to make a larger portion of the money. Which, I mean, hey, to be fair, games have to make money for them to be viable. I mean, the industry has had its troubles lately. I understand that aspect, but I just don't. I'm worried that even if they still make a decent amount of sales, like they'll still move in that direction because they just want to rip off that Band-Aid and make people just accept it. I don't know. It's hard to say if they will. I mean, I really think that people were talking about how Alan Wake 2 didn't do as well as it kind of needed to.
Well,
I really think if it launched with a physical copy, I think it would have made a bigger difference than most people suspect.
Yeah. But it would have been more of a upfront cost then, too.
Yes. I mean, they were saying that they wanted to stick to, I think, $60 price, and they thought they couldn't do that if they made a physical version. But of course, the physical version came out and it was more expensive, but that was because it includes a bunch of DLC.
I don't know how to avoid that. I gotta run the opposite side of the room, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping that there will be an option for a drive for PS6. I mean, I wish that they would just make it an option to let you use any external drive.
Yeah, well, maybe they would.
External Blu-ray drive, just plug it in with USB. It doesn't have to be that fast. I mean, sure, you'll have to wait longer to play your game, but ultimately, if all it's doing is copying and then letting you play the game, it's not like it has to be an amazing drive. And obviously, physical. Yeah, the problem I think is for the mega corporation like Sony. Physical media is relatively small potatoes money wise. It's a nuisance. Whereas you look at how there's all of these boutique physical media manufacturers, not just for games but for Blu-rays too, for the right market and for the right size company. It can be a very good business, right? But it's just that for the big companies, I think they see it as a nuisance. But if they want those companies to be able to exist in their ecosystem, then they do need they do need a physical media option. I'm hoping it won't go away. I'm confident on Nintendo for a good long time. Sony, I'm getting nervous about. The fact that PS5 Pro doesn't come with a disc drive is definitely a big slap to the face. Because, I mean, here's the thing. If they drop physical media support flat out, I own very little that would be backwards compatible on their systems. How are you going to let me play my games on your new hardware?
Wait, who?
Sony, if physical media went away, I would own very few games that would be backwards compatible with a new system. So how are they going to? That just seems like a PR nightmare. So I don't know what. you know, hopefully they'll be too afraid to face that and just make physical media an option. I hope it's true. I hope it's true, but the fact that PS5 Pro isn't coming with one does make me nervous about PS6. Like, I think both Microsoft and Sony really want to normalize not coming with a disk drive. It's worrying.
I want that double jump. Oh, I can get several here. Fall speed.
Well, they actually was everyone's streaming every game from the cloud. Do they though? Because I don't understand what the money motivation is for that, because like the infrastructure to keep that operating seems absurd. Like I don't. The only reason to want users to not have local hardware would be, you know, just the cost of that hardware. But I don't think it would be worth it, just the cost of running that streaming infrastructure. Like, it's got to be way more expensive to run than streaming infrastructure for movies. But I am glad, though, that physical media is very healthy on the Switch and in Japan. And I think...
Trout Butter, I just want you to know that I'm laughing at you.
Oh.
I just unprompted, like not saying anything else, just said PlayStation 69. Just by itself, with no other, like, build-up. I don't know why. It's just very funny to me. That's funny to know that I thought that It's made me laugh. Thank you.
Well, was it PS6 or PS9 that was like the orb in like the TV commercial for like PS
I remember something like that.
3? Like I feel like they have to, whichever number that was. Okay, it was PS9. Like, they have to try to make PS9.
Yeah. In Japan, I've heard they're up to PS9.
Yeah. Like if when they do PS9, if they don't make it look like that commercial, like that's just an instant failure. I was kind of thinking though, like about the Switch 2, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be neat if like you had the option of
I have exactly 2020. Actually, I just want to say I have exactly 2024, our current year worth of money right now.
Wow. I did, like, I don't so much think it when I see like 2,000 worth of a number in a game, but when I see like a 19, a 1,900 something's worth in a game, like I do, like my mind immediately associates it with the year. Like if I have 1,994, HP or money, like my mind goes to the year. I don't really do it for 2,000 worth.
If I'm gonna take on this other level, should I? We got like 15 minutes before 11. Should I?
You should play. You should show us what Balatro is all about.
Okay. I'll do that. Does anyone care if we do a round or two of Balatro?
I want to see what this is about, because
you are going to be like,
I looked at, I'm like, this does not look fun. So
well, I mean, you're going to see this. You're going to see me playing and be like, this does not look fun. Also,
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
See, uncommented goes says Balatro can and will consume your life if you're irresponsible.
See, Just to Chew said, I'm wondering if all these store shutdowns has been making physical media sales rise. I'm 24, and more of my peers are starting to collect physical media.
Yeah, well, a lot of that stuff's happening also with like movies and stuff lately too. Like people are kind of getting back into buying movies.
I mean, do you think? I mean, is that just your perspective because we kind of got a little bit?
No. I've been seeing people talk about that. So, especially with streaming being like, with if you don't want to pay like a lot of money, you have commercials, and you have like like 4 or 5 commercial breaks like in a movie that are like a minute and a half to 2 minutes long each time.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who like I know about this, but I was like watching a movie with my wife last night, and we were watching that movie Trap, and it like cuts to a commercial like in the middle of like like a musical performance.
Oh my god.
And my wife looks at me and she's like, how much do we have to pay to make this go away, to stop doing that? I'm like, it's roughly like around, like, it's like 10, almost like double the price to like make that stop. And she's like, where she works like helps out like elderly people.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, we have like a movie night for them like every week. And we just started like watching Blu-Rays because of the commercials. And she's like, we were watching it was funny. It was like a funny sequence of events because and I'm like, oh yeah. And she's like, we're watching Blu-Rays and like they look horrible. And I'm like, well, I have a whole YouTube channel to tell you why it looks like that. But yeah,
why do the Blu-rays?
I mean, not Blu-rays, DVDs. Sorry, DVDs look bad. It's like we started watching DVDs, and they look really bad.
Show her what a DVD looks like on PVM.
Yeah, well, maybe I should.
It looks flawless. But I feel like the most like existential fear I've had over physical media recently has been when I recently decided to like move my DVDs to my upstairs setup because DVDs do look horrible on a 4K TV. And I would be most likely to use them with the analog stuff up here, either on a CRT or upscaled on the Retrode. And I was looking for a shelf that could accommodate like my VHS and DVD movies. I don't have a lot of DVD movies. And I couldn't find anything except like, as you said in your video, like, these Atlantic shelves are, you kind of feel like they're kind of crappy, but it's like it's what's out there though, right? Like you can still buy them at least, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was all like, yeah, there's other options, but that was like you can't buy media depth shelving at IKEA. You can't buy it at Walmart. You can't buy it at Target. The choices on Amazon are becoming much and much fewer. Like you just can't buy shelves that aren't, bookshelf depth, which I hate putting movies and games on. Like I want that 6 to 9 inch shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Is really frustrating. It's shocking. It's appalling. So what's going on here? Why is this fun?
Okay, so
I do like the background though.
Yeah,
like that swirly like it looks. You know what this looks like with like that background and everything. This looks like an Xbox Live Arcade game. Like this looks like the big hit of Xbox Live Arcade in like 2008.
Okay, so you start off with a typical 52 card deck. You know, you're looking at and it starts out with you having to, each level or ante is made up of 3 rounds. There's a small blind, a big blind, and then a boss blind. So
I have no idea what a blind is other than the guy in Casino Royale who is explaining how poker works, says big blind, this, that, and
okay,
whatever.
well, that's the...
I don't know what it means.
You don't need to know that for this. Essentially, it just tells you what it is. Like, the little blind is, like, you know, you got to score at least this many points with... You have 4 hands. And you can discard as many cards as you want to 3 times. So you see the hands that I have there, and it says discards. Let me start over so they can make more sense to you.
I don't know if this is going to make sense to me.
Okay, so you see like the small blind, you know, so essentially what we have to do is like score at least 300 chips, which is just like 300 points. So you just select that, and then you get dealt, was it 7 cards or 8 cards from your 52 card deck, right? And you got to make hands out of what you have. So you can either, you might have like 2 that are the same, or, you know, 3 that are the same, or you can look at the suit and see if there's like enough to do it. So right now I have like, I have 2 2s, so I can play those and see how it says over on the side there. Like I'm creating a hand called a pair, which is just like 2 like cards. Doesn't matter the suit. So I get like score. It's like 10 with a 2x multiplier, and I play it, and each one counts as the number on it. So 14 times 2 gives me 28 chips, and I'm trying to get to 300 for this round. But if you need to, if you don't have a hand, or you want to take some other chances, you can like discard. Like I can choose like, let's see. So I got 4 clubs right now. So I'm going to try to just like make a flush, which is.
Well, I mean, I feel like people have said, or you said, or something, that you don't really need to know poker hands.
No, it'll tell you.
But I don't see how I don't see how I don't need to know that.
Well, it'll tell you.
I don't understand. I'm looking at this interface. I'm like, I don't know what the game is telling you to do.
There's like 5 different hands, really. There's like one, like a pair. There's 2 pair. There's I guess there's like 3 of a kind and 4 of a kind. Or you could do like a straight, which is like counting up or down sequentially, or a flush, which is like 5 of the same suit, or a straight flush is like 5 of the same suit, but like in sequential order. Okay, so I'm just gonna discard these. I'm trying to get, you know, one more set of clubs here, so I can make a flush out of it. So I got 3, 4, 5. I can play that. So a 35 flush, 35 times 4. But then it adds up all these. So you're going to get like 10, 8, 6, 5, 3. And that makes 268. So I'm almost to 300. I'm doing a bad job of trying to explain it. But it like kind of explains itself like as you play.
Yeah, I mean,
so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So that's a straight right there. So I can just play that.
That's also say that it makes it's better to just play Balatro than to explain it.
Yeah, and you'll be like, oh, I get it. And in between each round, you get jokers. You can get up to 5 jokers, which add like variables. Like this one here is like played cards with club suit gives you +3 multiplier when scored. Or you can open booster packs to like get more. Like this, like the buffoon packs have like additional jokers in it. So I'm going to open that. I'm going to see if there's anything that's like kind of helpful. This one's like a 15 multiplier when 0 discards are remaining. So if I use up all my discards, then I get a 15x multiplier. Or this one is played face cards have a 1 in 2 chance of giving you $2 when scored. Because you got to buy this stuff with your earned money. What you can also buy are planet cards, which level up your hands. And the Arcana packs, like getting one of those, will make it so that you can enhance various cards in your deck. Like this is like, converts up to 3 selected cards into spades. So you have more spades going forward. And this all resets every time that you start a new run, obviously. None of this, the only thing that carries over is finding like new jokers, and then they will appear in future runs.
I think Dad 1153 is extremely entertained by, I guess, my expressions or lack thereof.
Yeah.
You're explaining this. So like I can see the long-age Son tries brain as he's being explained.
It makes total sense once you start playing.
And tries mentally doing his taxes right now.
And it's just like one of those things that, you might not understand it, but when you start doing it, you'll just like learn more about playing cards, kind of.
I wonder
it's always helpful to like know more
I wonder
about
if
stuff
this
like
is something that my mom or dad would enjoy, or if it's too.
If they like playing cards, like I bet
too advanced.
No, I mean if they have like an iPhone, then it's like free on Apple Arcade right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Does it have ads or something?
No, if they have Apple Arcade, then it's like the full game without.
Well, I mean, I don't even know why I asked that, because I mean they've got Android phones.
I mean, like I understand like that it doesn't make sense, but I mean I'm sure people in the chat that have played this be like, oh yeah, I mean like it makes total sense when you've played it. I've only completed one run though up to this point. See, now I gotta somehow. I'm gonna like lose in the first round here. Well, no, let's see if we can get rid of these and see if we can get a 10 out of that, or an ace and a 10. Give me a 10. No. Well, I can make that work. Yeah, the mobile version is like actually where I started playing it. And then I was immediately like, oh, I kind of want to like have this. But, it's a run only takes, like 50. I feel like it's like less than 15 minutes max. But I really like it. I think it's very fun, and it's a great thing.
Get a physical copy? I mean,
I did already. It actually just came out as I like discovered the game.
Are you even going to open it?
It's funny because it came open.
Really?
Yeah, I asked about it in our Discord because it like came, and it came with like 2 packs of like the actual cards in there, okay. But it just came as like there's just like completely out of the shrink wrap. Everything was in there, but there's just no shrink wrap on it. And I wonder if it got caught on something as it was getting packed up or something like that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it never
no
had
one
that happen
else
before.
had that happen to them.
No, it was just like a random thing.
That's weird. You know, I've gotten some packages like it almost feels like it's happened a few times in only the past few months where like I've gotten a few packages from Amazon where they weren't even sealed.
Really?
Like the packaging, like the envelope, like just never ended up getting sealed. And
weird.
The stuff was still in it. You know, the only time that I can
shoot, I didn't mean to do that.
I can remember where there was just nothing in the package. I can't remember if it was either ripped open or if it was sealed, but there was just nothing in it. Was Kirby Star Allies. I had that pre-ordered on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't no game in it. So I asked for a refund and I just went to Best Buy.
Yeah.
That was when I shot the best video of Sandy I'll ever shoot.
So a full house is 3 of a kind and 2 of a kind. So like it's just all the stuff that I don't really know anything about. I didn't really know very much about cards. And this has taught me what different hands are that I never really knew about before. Every card played permanently gains +5 just when scored. Interesting. Let's try that one. See, some of these are new, and you I just want to read this because this is absolutely something that applies to me. It's $10 from Matt Gurley saying, "Happy seasonal affective disorder season." Happy seasonal affective disorder season. That's all. I'm enjoying your Sunday stream. Listen, I definitely suffer from seasonal depression, and it's something that I had never really thought about. I think until recently that I was affected by it so severely until this last year, last winter. And I'm really going to do everything I can to try to avoid it. Whether it's getting out every day, walking every day, or
see, that's so interesting to me because I mean, for one, the temperature is awesome.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about we're talking dead of winter, January, where it's that's where it really kicks in and gets bad, at least for me.
It's weird. I actually really like just the changing of season. I think a lot of people would prefer that it was just their preferred temperature all year long, but I like the variety. I like it's starting to feel a bit different. I don't know, whether it's becoming warmer or becoming colder, it kind of reinvigorates me. You know, there's some excitement to be oh yeah, it's finally time for some sweatpants for a while, or alternatively, it's finally time for shorts. I like that it's not just the same all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean that's basically what I'm.
So I guess I'm saying I don't that doesn't affect me.
I don't think that's not what I'm saying. It's just when it's cold and it gets dark really early is when it affects a lot of people, such as myself, in a way that it's not about it's something different. It's the fact that you don't get exercise or sunlight on your face often enough.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah. I mean, I totally understand why people get less happy when there's less sunlight. That's never been impacting factor for me though. Like the short short day, short day, long day. That's never bothered me one way or the other. Oh man, we got a $5 super chat from old Blade Blur. Been a bit.
It has been.
Saying been addicted to Balatro for months. No kidding, it's one of the best indies I have ever played. Hope you are both doing well and keep the quality up.
Thanks. And I, it's one of those games I feel like you just got to try like a few rounds to like understand what it's going for, and it's like it's extremely addicting.
Next time we meet up, you'll have to have me try it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just order you a physical copy and say you got to put at least 3 hours into this. I see John the Don is saying with $2. Thank you. Saying it's the lack of dopamine and neurotransmitters. I mean, yeah, and it's just like lack of vitamin D, I think. So I'm really making a big push to overcome it this year.
All right. Play some sunshiny video games.
Or spend 40 minutes out in the sunshine each day, at least.
Yeah. There was also $5 from Matt Gurley again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying the only cure this time of year is a nice winter game. Shenmue 1 and 2 is great to play these cold dark months. Are those winter games? I don't actually know that much about like when they take place, I guess.
Well, Shenmue definitely takes place like around in December and into January. So Henry Clark saying, like the is just 40 minutes in the sun is a recipe for skin cancer? I can't imagine it would be 40 minutes.
I don't know. I mean, if you ask me, the sun seems more bad than good.
All right.
For humans. For human direct exposure.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, my doctor said I need more vitamin D, so he told me to take vitamin D vitamins, and he don't complain about it no more. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I take vitamin D every day.
Feel any different? I don't know what it's doing for me exactly, but I do it because it tells me to.
Yeah, the just being outside and breathing the fresh air and getting like the real sunlight on me, like it goes very far, and that's why like I really got into a lot of that this summer. Like I got into like spending a lot more time outside this summer than I have, and maybe it's just something I need like as I get older. So, I mean, that's what it means for me.
Whoa, some of your cards look weird now.
Yeah, it's a multiplier. I enhanced it with it's a multiplier. You'll see it here.
What the heck is the one with like the red and black scrawls?
That's what I mean. It's the multiplier. So I got it as a.
What is it supposed to be?
It's just. But it just means it's a multiplying.
It looks like the drawing that someone finds their kid has done in like a haunting horror movie. The kid has drawn this like creepy drawing of the ghost.
See, Brian North is saying I was vitamin D. Oh, it makes you very. I was vitamin D deficient. It makes you very vulnerable to breaks. Oh, you mean like breaking bones? Not mental breaks, right? Although it might there too.
I'm amused by this wording of mega standard pack.
Yeah, because it gives you
mega standard
with mega packs. You get to like choose 2 cards. So I'll buy that. And it's like, oh, okay. So here's 5 cards, and I get to pick 2 of these to add to my deck. So this one, it's a polychrome, which is a 1.5 multiplier every time. So we'll do that one, and we'll do the lucky card. But this music, it really just sounds like being high. The music really does sound like it's just like, it's almost kind of just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're just like, you are playing cards in a smoky room and you were just like stoned out of your mind. That's what this music sounds like. Yeah, psychedelic.
But also
yes.
Great to eat cereal too.
Yes. This music would ordinarily blend in the background for me, but I've heard it so much I can immediately recognize it. And it's true. It's like, like it's an amazing game, I think.
I'm so bummed.
It's not gonna be my goatee, but it's gonna be up there.
I'm so bummed that you didn't make your quote about a great game to eat cereal to in time for it to get onto the back of the box for the physical game.
You're right.
That's just primo back of the box.
Yes, eat cereal to it like in the morning, or maybe in the evening, in the after hours when you're eating cereal, as I sometimes tend to do.
Nothing wrong with a little cereal dinner.
All right. I'll keep. We will. I don't know if I mean, it's 11:15. I'll keep going. I'll see how many more rounds I can do here.
It's 12:15 by body clock.
Yeah. It was nice waking up, having feeling like I slept in, and it was 8:45 this morning.
I wanted to feel like I had woken up like early, but I didn't get my best sleep last night, so I slept in a bit more. I think because I was still shooting my stuff like pretty late last night. I didn't have enough wind down time, I think.
That's gonna do it.
It took way longer to shoot than I thought it would.
Look at that background too. There is an option for like a CRT effect, but I turned it off. You can also turn on pixel
I feel like that wouldn't work so well for this game.
Let's see. So it's like, and you can have the CRT bloom, so you can have it like that. I don't know, like that does not look how I like it. I do like the CRT bloom. I like that look. I highly recommend it. To eat your cereal too. Anyways, I think that's gonna do it. I think that'll do it this week. Thanks everybody who donated and everybody who hung out to see me play the excellent Gravity Circuit and the excellent Balatro.
Y'all continue Gravity Circuit tomorrow?
I'm probably going to continue it after I finish Castlevania, and I'm doing pretty good in Castlevania. I've got like more than half the castle, so
Nice.
I feel as though I can probably finish that in a day or two. Everyone who's in the U.S., don't forget to vote on Tuesday, or do it early if you can. And we'll see everybody next week in a post PS5 Pro world, in a post 2024 presidential election world. So we'll see you then. So
Good
take
night.
care. Good night.